Hi everybody. So I am at that point of the year where I'm feeling like I need a cleanse. So since yesterday I've been doing this cleanse that I do. It's just really a lot of natural, just lots of kale and zucchini, some non-inflammatory foods that I'll eat for a few days. I'll have to stay tuned for when I do a video on my flax granola that I make. I actually eat that more than just every once in a while. I try to keep it in our kitchen throughout the year just so my husband and I like to eat it. It makes you feel really great. It helps your digestive system a ton. So if you're feeling kind of icky in your digestive system, that's really fantastic. This soup is part of my cleanse as well. It's called Carrot Ginger Soup. And I just finished my last batch of what I froze last time I made this soup. So I'm making some again because I'm going to need it on hand for at least the next week. So this cleanse is something that I do. I somewhat follow. So this is the book I somewhat follow for the cleanse. I've kind of over the years developed my own way of doing it just because I got really familiar with how it works for my body and how I like to do it. Okay, so it's called The Plan by Lynn Gannett Recetas, and it's fantastic. You can do it. It's advertised for weight loss, but it's really great for if you have inflammation in your body. Especially like I have chronic pain from scoliosis. I'm always dealing with that pain in my back, and I'm always looking for new ways to like get rid of that inflammation in my body. And eating a natural diet really helps. So getting away, we don't eat out a lot. We don't eat too many processed foods. We try to stay away from that as much as possible. Yes, it can get tiring making everything from scratch, but if you're easy on yourself and here and there, do what works for you. And baby steps, I always like to say, helps. So anyway, check out this book. There's a ton of information in it. There's recipes. I'm not really going to share recipes from this book because I'd rather you just, go check this book out. You can get it at your public library. You can get it used. I got this one used. It already had notes on it, which is fine, or you can buy new, right? So support her. She's got a really great book. But this soup just really helps. Even if I don't do a cleanse, I'll just eat it sometimes anyway, just to make me feel a little bit better, especially if I've had like a holiday weekend away with family and I come home and I need to get back to my ordinary self. This is the soup I pull out. This and my flax granola, okay? So I'm heating my pan up. This is my really big pan, my biggest pan that I have. Heating it up. I just tried to videotape this, and I'm sorry I can't share it with you. I was trying to open up this brand new jar of cinnamon, ground cinnamon, and I don't know, it's glued shut. So until my husband can come home and help me, I am trying something different. I have a ton of cinnamon sticks, so I have to tell you about spice grinders. I'm sure you've heard of them, right? But I never really used one all too much until I started making my own garlic powder and onion powder, which is super simple. Just dehydrating those things and then throwing them in a spice grinder, and there you go. You can just use the ends of your garlics and your onions and save that over time, right? So anyway, I have these cinnamon sticks, and I've discovered that when I'm in a pinch for something like fresh ground pepper, I'll throw those peppercorns in my spice grinder, and here I've got a whole jar full of ground pepper. We're going to try it with the cinnamon sticks. So I picked out as many like tiny sticks. I just need a tablespoon, so we're in a pinch here. So we're going to try this and hope that it works. Okay, fingers crossed. Almost there. That sounds pretty good. All right, let's hope this is my tablespoon that I need. There we go. Okay. So I've got something like a tablespoon of cinnamon. So with this on medium heat, I'm going to add my cinnamon, and we're just going to toast these spices. So it's like basically not long after I add these. That's a little extra, but that's okay. I'm glad that worked. Okay, cumin, 1 tablespoon of cumin. So I'm just sharing this because I've really kind of turned this into my own thing over time because I know how I like it and I know the consistency that I like for my soup and that my family likes. Because believe it or not, my family really likes this too. If we mix it, so this is a tablespoon of fresh ground pepper. If we mix it in with my regular tomato soup, I find that my kids will still enjoy it quite a bit, especially with grilled cheese sandwiches, right? All right, so we need 1 full teaspoon of cardamom. Oops. I'm not great at measuring, I'm not gonna lie. I don't get too picky unless we're really making a mistake with spices. It's usually not too bad if you go a little over, especially with something like this. So these spices add to the anti-inflammatory and the immune boosting power of this. Hold on, I need a wooden spoon. My favorite spoon. Okay, so I gotta stir that because I don't want my spices to burn. Just toasting them. Okay, now just a couple more things. A 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric. And a 1/2 teaspoon allspice. These get to be some of my pantry staples that I like to add to a lot of different things, so I like to always have these things on hand. So I'm just going to stir it a little bit longer. I don't want them to burn. You know, some of them have been in there for a little bit, so I'm going to turn that down. Now I need 5 quarts of water. So here's 2 quarts to get those spices to work in, right? Okay. And we're going to add 3 more quarts to that. Now that I added all the water to my soup pot, that's just kind of warming up. I'm going to start chopping up my vegetables. So I've peeled my ginger. It's about 6 inches worth of ginger already peeled. I'm just going to cut it into smaller pieces. Throw it in this bowl. Ginger is incredibly good for your immune system, and it's anti-inflammatory. I already peeled my garlic, 8 cloves of garlic peeled. I cut the ends off because I have this little dish that lives on my counter that I always keep kind of popped open a little bit. But this is where I put all like some skins and extra garlic pieces when I put my garlic through the press, and of course the ends when I peel, something like that. So these will eventually, once I have enough and it's all dried out, it'll go in my spice grinder to make some garlic powder. So I'll throw those in the bowl because they're already done. 2 large red onions. I just went downstairs and grabbed my onions. This I do just like my garlic. So instead of having somewhere to put these on my countertop, I just put these in a freezer bag, and when I have enough, I'll put them in my dehydrator, and then, well, I have to cut them into smaller pieces, but I blend them up in my blender that way. So same with these skins that I'm peeling off. I gotta be quick because my garden onions tend to make me cry. So I'll share this, stick around to the end of this video, and I'll share the recipe that I wrote down for how I make this soup. You can certainly follow, if you buy the book, The Plan. I'm in no way affiliated with that book or the author, but I just really like her book. So if you do, you may want to, ooh, that one's a little icky, we'll cut that off. So this piece I'm not going to save. That'll go in my compost pile. Let's see, what can I save from this? Peel it first. Oh, it's getting to me. That's good. That into smaller pieces. I'm going to end up pureeing this so I don't worry about like chopping everything really fine, which is nice because it makes making this soup not such a huge task. I'm not sitting there chopping and chopping for hours. Oh my gosh, can you see it? Oh! That's yummy. Okay. Oh. All right, I should have done those last. Jeez Louise. Okay, so I have my zucchinis. They're supposed to be large zucchinis. I chose extra large because, you know, they're stacking up on my countertop. Zucchinis, another anti-inflammatory food. I love adding zucchinis to smoothies. Oh, I'm tearing. To smoothies, to soups, to breads. I have a recipe that I'll have to share another time for zucchini brownies, and it's absolutely amazing. They turn out kind of cakey, but oh, are they ever good. They get devoured at our house. All right, zucchini number 2. These will all get cooked down. And as I go, I'm going to have to add them to the pot because the bowl's filling up. Oh. Alright, I'm going to add all this to my pot. There we go. And we'll keep going. Eee. See, it doesn't take long. It's kind of nice. My kids just went back to school, so I'm just taking this extra time before I go back to work to get these extra things taken care of, like making soups or muffins that I can freeze. That's part of when you were eating unprocessed food as much as possible. It can seem daunting, but with the right prep as you go, you can You can kind of prepare this stuff ahead of time so that when you are too busy to make stuff from scratch, you can say, oh, wait a second, we have a jar of canned venison, or we've got muffins in the freezer, or we have frozen meals left over. Super nice to be able to just go and grab that when you need it. And now we've got carrots. Holy moly, look at these carrots I pulled from my garden. I'm so excited because this is only 6 pounds of carrots, okay? So I did 3 large zucchinis. This is 6 pounds of carrots. So I don't actually, I don't peel these. I will just cut them just because I know where they came from. If I bought them at the store, I would peel them. But they're from my garden, so I'm just gonna cut them, chop them into a little bit smaller chunks, and toss them back in the pot. So we'll just let that come to a boil and then simmer it for about 45 minutes. Then the vegetables should be nice and tender, and I use my immersion blender to do that. So it's just one of these stick blenders. These things come in handy. If you don't have one, check them out. They're really convenient. I've had this one for 15 years. So they're really convenient. This one lasted a really long time. So it's really nice to just go right into the pot with it instead of having to go and put little portions of it into my blender and do it in small pieces at a time. I can do it all at once and then let it cool. It's been simmering for 45 minutes. So let's take the lid off that. I've got my immersion blender. And sometimes if I want it a little thicker, I'll take some of the liquid out. But since I only put 5 quarts of water in, I'm not going to do that. And also I added 2 tablespoons of olive oil to this too. If I wanted it to be a little creamier, sometimes I'll add a can of coconut milk, full fat coconut milk to it, and it's really, really good. I'm not doing that right now, at least. Maybe I might go pick some up tomorrow, but I don't have any in my pantry right now, so this is what I've got. We like this nice and smooth, so I take my time with the blender to make sure I get all those chunks blended up, and my spoon says that they all are. So now this is ready to either can or freeze in quart-sized freezer bags. And here's the finished product for my carrot ginger soup. I canned 7 jars. I probably have 4 more quarts of soup left for us to eat throughout the week. So 7 are gonna go on my canning shelf downstairs. I took my hot jars and my hot soup and I filled these jars to 1-inch headspace, topped them with the lids and rings, and I put them in the pressure canner for 25 minutes at 11 pounds pressure. It was really simple. And now I have extra freezer space. Instead of shoving these in the freezer, they go on the canning shelf. Thanks for watching, and I hope you tune in again.